If you're waiting on the right time to make your move, you'll never make it. It ain't ever, the ducks will never line up in a row. You know why? Because God ain't set it up that way. Because for you to take your leap of faith, God requires an exchange between you and him. It's called faith. Tired of trying to figure it out. I've been asking God what it was, told him what I wanted to do, had no idea how to get on TV. Sometimes the leap of faith isn't a leap. Sometimes it's a push. Sometimes God kick you off the cliff. And you just got to go after that. I went to an amateur night, October 8th, 1985, walked in the comedy club for the first time on a dare. A girl named Gladys Jacob dared me to go to the comedy club. She said, Steve, you're the funniest person I've met in my life. I was actually writing jokes for a comedian today named A.J. Jamal. I wrote jokes for A.J. Jamal. He does cruise ships now. He would pay me $10 a joke. I didn't know what he was doing with them. He was just come to me, go, Steve, what you think about this? I said, change that. The girl came to me one time and said, you the one writing these jokes for A.J. Jamal? I said, yeah. She said, why don't you do them yourself? I said, what you talking about doing yourself? She said, why don't you go to the comedy club and do them? I said, what is a comedy club? I never heard of a comedy club. I was 27. Never heard of a comedy. She said, I'm going to come pick you up next Tuesday. That Tuesday she picked me up was October 8th, 1985. She took me to the comedy club. I signed up. I went up last. They had a clap off. I won amateur night. They paid me $50. I went to work the next day, October 9th, quit my job. That was it. That was it. I have done nothing since October 9th, 1985, but tell jokes. Nothing. I lost everything with that decision. I lost my family. My ex-wife told me, she said, if you go out on that road, don't you ever come back. I went out on the road, came back, house was boarded up. Didn't see my kids for a year and a half. My mother-in-law wouldn't tell me where they were. Went back out on the road, tried to give me some money to send to her mother-in-law. Kept sending money back, didn't have enough because I was only making like $150, $200 a week. So by the time I sent them $150, I kept $50. Ended up homeless, lived in a car for 3 years, kept touring around the South telling jokes. Every now and then I'd go home, you know, borrow $100 from my old man. I was hurting, man. I just kept faith, just kept going. My mother told me one time, she said, boy, why don't you come home? You struggling too hard out there. I said, well, Mama, if I quit, I ain't gonna never know. I'm gonna have to stay with it. She said, where you live, boy? I said, oh, I got friends out there. I couldn't tell my mother I was homeless. It would broke her heart. So I just stayed out there. Kept going, kept going. Thought about giving up a whole bunch of times. But God, man, he got a way of coming through. And he just came through. And next, I got a phone call one time, asked me to do Showtime at the Apollo. And all of a sudden, my dream to be on TV was coming true. That's a long story. I can't tell it to you, but I ended up going to the Apollo, and they loved me. And left, and they called me back, and Mark Curry, who was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper, was the host of Amateur Night. He decided he was going to take another weekend off. They called me up there and asked me to do one night for Mark Curry. Boy, damn it, I practiced. I practiced my ass off. I went in there, and I was so funny that one night. And what I did was they had a warm-up act, so every time they went to commercial break, the warm-up act went out there. But I was so afraid of losing the gig, I stayed out there, and I did the warm-ups. Then I did the TV show. I did all the warm-ups. They loved me, and that was it. Next thing you know, I got a phone call, said, we'd like for you to become the permanent host of Amateur Night. And that was 1991. And next thing you know, I wasn't homeless no more. Got me a check, got me an apartment. Woo! Put a waterbed on layaway. Laid away a water bed, $800. Had that lay away for 9 months. Just 9 months to lay away an $800 water bed. My rent was $185 in Texas. If it was every day you was late, it was a $5 fee. Not one day did I have my $185 on the day I was supposed to have it, because I was still hustling. I pay late fees every time, and that's the first house I ever got. First apartment was $185. Then I started making a little money, and I got me an apartment, cost $215 a month. Woo, you couldn't say to me then. $215, that was high-ass living. Today, somebody asked me one time, they said, Steve, why do you spend so much money on cars? Because I like cars and watches. Somebody asked me, they said, why you spend so much money on cars? I said, because I was homeless one time. I lived in a car. He said, but why you spend so much money on cars? I said, because if you ever go bad again, that's the I'm living in right there. I'm living in a Rolls Royce. True story, but it's just, look, man, sometimes if you're waiting on the right time to make your move, you'll never make it. The ducks will never line up in a row. You know why? Because God ain't set it up that way. Because for you to take your leap of faith, God requires an exchange between you and him. It's called faith. If he lined it all up for you, you wouldn't need faith. He wants to see if you really believe in him. So he requires you to make a choice to believe. So if you want to be whatever you want to be, you're going to have to take a chance. You got to go for it. It ain't finna be right. That wasn't the perfect time for me to quit my job and go do comedy, but it worked out. God gonna work it out for you, man. Quit trying to figure out the how-to. The how-to is none of your business. The Bible ain't nowhere in the Bible tell you to figure out how to. It say ask, believe, receive. Your gift back to God is the use of the gift. You can't get this gift and don't use it. My gift is I can transform any piece of information instantly into comedy. And my memory is so vivid, so unaffected, I connect the dots. We sit up in there talking about going to school to be funny, and then I drag Dana into it. Y'all wasn't even thinking about Dana, but I pull it. But you gotta have a mind that connects those dots to make the funny. That's a gift. I didn't go to school for this. This ain't nothing, I don't even know how I got it. I had it as a kid though, and stayed in trouble because I didn't know how to work it. My mama was Sunday school. My mama used to take me to church on Friday night, get me prayed for. So I stand in prayer line every Friday night. Pastor pray for this boy, stuff just come out his mouth. I didn't even know why they was praying for, because I thought it was regular. I can't stop it. It was just coming out. I stayed in the principal's office, and I stayed in trouble, and I stayed in the prayer line. That same church, I done built a Sunday school on that same church in my mama's name. Because I can't close my damn mouth. It turned into my lifestyle. It turned into a whole life for me. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. It'll make room for you. Whatever he gifted you at, if you do that gift, it'll make room for you. That don't mean it allows you to spread yourself out. It'll take you places you never went. You got to do your gift. Go home, write your gift on a piece of paper. It's the thing you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. If you go do that, quit working for somebody if you ain't happy on your job, it's because you ain't doing your gift. If you do your gift, God will give you a life you will not believe. But your gift back to God is the use of the gift. You can't get this gift and don't use it. Come on, man. A lot of y'all sitting in here got gifts, man, that God would make incredible things happen for you, but you're not using it because you got this job somewhere. Okay. You know what's going to happen with that job? When you turn 65, they're going to give you a pension. You know what that pension is? 1/3 are already what you couldn't live on when you was working.